champion herself.
Now for my Void main, I'm gonna be going with Yolder. I
Among
decided
all the
to,
jewels and gems, sweat is my favorite accessory.
and yeah, this ornament, this outfit she got just looks sick, bro. It's absolutely badass. Like you can even see how I have like the shield that matches it and all that. Looking like a real titan, looking like a motherfucking legend. She's at 36k, and that's with 2 mythics. I don't even have an exotic on her yet, so with an exotic, she'll be pushing a little bit higher. And I kind of have this planned out. I'm gonna try to go for this mythic right here. I want to try to go for this one because this one has better range, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. That rate of fire 750, perfect. Better range on this one. This is going to be a beast. In fact, if I can pull this one tomorrow, which I kind of have that prepared, so I'm going to show y'all. If you go to my inventory, I've already made 2 engrams that give you the chance of doing it. So you actually can choose what type of engram you want to synthesize, and hopefully I'll get a good one from here. So there's a couple of other weapons that I would be perfectly fine with getting. I already have this one for a tall, but this submachine gun right here, or this LMG right here, would be another excellent pickup for Caber. Okay, so if I could pull one of those, and I have 2 of them that I've already made with. Oh man, I have quite a few mythic. There we go. So I still have a pool of fragments that I can make more if need be. The other thing too is, of course, getting these exotic weapon parameters, which you get through your bounties, which are reset by the week. So this is a work in progress, but I've already gotten up to 24 of them, and I believe that some of these you may even see, if I'm not mistaken, they may show up on some of these other rewards. Yeah, like say for instance the battle pass, you can get 10 of them right here, and I need to get 30, at least 30 to synthesize. But there's different. This is something I really want to mention that you should definitely take a look at if you're looking to make a specific type. This actually shows you, so you can actually pick different ones. So like each one actually has a different pool, which I like because it kind of zeroes in on the ones that you want, so that you're not trying to get a random out of a really large pool of weapons. It narrows it down so that you have a much better chance to get exactly what you want, right? Say for instance here, if I get those sidearm, I think I already have one of those, so that would be a second pair. This would be a great one for Tan, Polaris Lance. This is another one for Risk Runner if you're running any kind of arc burn, you know, heroics. I don't even know if they do nightfalls in here. This is another one that people are really talking about. It's going to be really good for Tan too. You need a good Void sniper. Okay, he's got to have more options. Rocket launcher, unfortunately, no one really uses. Ikora, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that'd be a good one for her. Anyways, let's go look at some of these other ones. So another one, this is probably the one that I'm going to make first, because I would pretty much be okay with any of these, except unfortunately Jotun. I was an alpha tester and a beta tester for this game, and Jotun was actually a fusion rifle that Atal was able to use. However, the problem with that is I don't think that it's available for her anymore, because they narrowed her down to linear fusion rifles only. This is a really good fusion rifle because it switches between long range and shorter range with a higher rate of fire. So that's going to be a good one, just to kind of have a nice exotic that can go with arc damage. But out of the ones on this list, the ones that intrigue me the most are going to be, oh, this one's a good one. Look at this, 60 increased reload. So that one's probably good for like boss damage. It is what it is, right? It's a good sniper. And then you got this one that actually puts a shield around you. That's absolutely sick. That's like something that the Cabal would probably carry. So right. Yolder right now is at 36k, and this is before we get to really jump up to the next level with those level 61 enhancements. Now we got
the Golden
Caber.
Age is long gone.
Currently my
but
strongest.
The Caber Age is just.
and that's because this pulse rifle is just incredible. Okay, and then Scorched Earth, which what I've been trying to focus on, especially since Caber is one of my mains for the raid, is putting really good weapon mods. Obviously, what you also want to do is you want to go to your artifacts and try to get mythic artifacts and eventually maybe some exotic artifacts if I think you can get those later. And so yeah, those are ones that really stand out. So I'll leave it there for now. The other characters that I really want to mess with, see, I got my wolf is at 37k, which I could technically bring him up a little bit more right now, but there's really no point because I think there's going to be a whole lot of new options starting tomorrow, so I don't need to change his mods out. As of right now, I actually have the ability to upgrade, but I have it in the chamber where I have these what do you call it, mod choice bundles, which you get from doing some of the frontline missions and stuff like that. So you just want to try to be, you don't want to jump the gun when they phase out these chapters the way they do, because you might try to spread out your resources too much, and you not necessarily have to worry about doing that because you can always reset them and get your stuff back. And so what I've done is I pretty much lowered down all my characters that I really don't give a damn about, took their resources from their weapons so that I can really focus on the ones that I do use. So as of right now, I got 2 arc characters,
I'll become the lead.
1 void,
but
and I got 2 solar.
I have work to do. Rivals to beat.
So I got a pretty good lineup as of right now. And here's my Tan 2, which I could definitely get into using him because I got lucky when I first started the game. My first 15 pulls from the standard banner, I got 2 of these. And then later on I got another one. So I actually pulled Tan 2 3 times so far. And I haven't even really got into using all of my points and stuff. I still have a whole lot of leaves that I'm saving up, and then also got to save up those pulls for when Stella comes to the table. You see, I got 44. I haven't drawn a single LE because I don't really want Gwen. I just don't. She looks cool, you know. That's your goth babe, but not my thing. Probably gonna go for Estella because every time that I rank up my weapons with Caber,
right?
they're going to transfer right over to Estella. So pulse rifles and machine guns, they use the exact same weapons. Of course, the only difference is that Caber is an arc titan and Estella will be a solar warlock. So you're going to have a whole pool of weapons that I'll be preparing in further detail as we get closer to the release of Estella so that they can just be transferred over. Here's another one that I really want to get, and you can get this one from Mythic Weapon Engrams, which you can find right here. So I could synthesize some like that as well. Could definitely do that. This one, of course, you only get to choose from it. Let me see. I don't think it lets me make that though. Yeah, you have to get it from a heroic strike. So technically we can run one of those right now and try to get one, but I'll just go ahead and save the pinnacle energy. I'm not really worried about trying to use it. But you see, for examples like this, like look at this strike right here where it has all 3 burns. This is your classic Destiny problem, right? Now, aside from the burns, you also have the weapon type modifiers that you're going to start seeing, like the rapid fires, the impact they call them Shinkas, I think. So they're like mini bosses that don't give a damn what burn you use. You have to have the weapon type to go with it. And so that's where Caber really starts to fall apart because he's limited to only rapid fire weapons. And so you do want to branch out at least a little bit, right?
Let's
Obviously,
get back into the fight.
Wolf having explosives and auto rifle and then
You received
10.
another speeding ticket.
What is this? Impact weapons, I think. I think that's technically what it is. So you do have to branch out a little, right? But you don't want to have
I wish I could
to
fly
feel like
someday.
you're doing it too much. You
Touch
see
the
how they
sky,
specialize?
stars.
So
Could you
when you
help
can
me,
get
mate?
a character
This is my day off, but
that
I guess I could do a
has
little bashing.
2 different types,
You wanna play?
that makes them so much more worth it, because then all you have to do is focus on getting your different burn types. You know, you got your void auto submachine gun, you got your arc submachine gun, you got your void submachine gun, and then same thing with your swords. Eventually you want to have one of each burn that you really start to zero in on, right? Her, of course, being void, that covers that, so technically you don't have to run a burn. But when it's one like this strike right here that we were looking at, where it has all 3 burns, that's where you got to really get creative in putting the right class together. And I remember back in the Destiny days, Nightfalls is where that would really, really matter, you know. You want to start putting that all together as it goes. Now, I believe Destiny does let you change weapons on the fly during the matches, so that could be, you know, of course, an alternative. You could just kind of adjust as you go through it, but it's nice to have those weapons there. This is going to be one of the most important things, probably within the next day or so. So you're going to have to get more of these. Your singularity orders, you'll get them on your initial drops if you can clear them. This one pissed me off. I gotta clear this one out. I'll probably do this one tomorrow. This is an absolute must. So I really need those. The reason why those are important is when you're ranking your character up and you want to really take things to the next level. You'll see it in your relic abilities. Usually you'll need them when you're starting to get this part ranked up, which is super important. And you can see the light level strength. That's a pretty sizable jump from each one to the next. Okay, so just going from 3 to 4, that right there is an 800 point jump, which is a pretty sizable leap. Not only that, you're gonna have to have more of this material right here to rank them up tomorrow. So I really think that for the raid, my 2 mains for the raid are Yolder and Caber. Yolder, I feel like she's super helpful when you're running with Tan, so that they don't have to worry about reloading their snipers. If I'm not mistaken, it should give you the same effect that it does for me when I'm in the bubble, where I don't have to reload my gun. The only problem with Yolder is, of course, that submachine gun doesn't have a lot of range, so if you're shooting from further away, that's a problem, right? Her DPS is not that great when you're in the bubble, unless you're right on the enemy. Then you can spam your sword without losing any of your sword ammo, so that is an option too. But using that, her main, what's it, this right here, the Barrier Starlight, super sick, where you could just really go to town with just laying it on them, you know what I'm saying? And then that goes likewise with your teammates, where they could just DPS without having to worry about those damn reloads. So that would be super cool if that's exactly what it does. Then you have your Doomslayer move, where you throw this shield out, and then when it comes back to you, whatever you've hit, it adds to your overshield. So this allows you to basically stay alive when you're getting into the mix. So save it for when you're pushing up and you have to try to survive, because you know you're going to be taking damage. You have to get up close and personal with Yolder, so that's where that really comes in handy. You also, and here's the thing too, this is what I love about this game. These characters are so overpowered. So a Titan in Destiny 1 had to choose between their barrier or their Titan Smash, is what they called it back then. The Titan Smash would one-touch you. It doesn't one-touch you in here, but you don't have to choose between the two, because you can have both, which is super awesome. Not only does this barrier protect you from what's outside of the bubble, but you can still shoot out of it. And I don't think that that's something that you were able to do in Destiny 1. You weren't able to shoot out of that bubble. And here, you can. And it gives you infinite ammo while you do. So these Guardians in Destiny Rising are way more powerful than the ones in regular Destiny. I would argue that, because they're doing all types of stuff. Like they just relic spam. Everything is just made like tailor made for them to just be completely badass, and that's something that I'm really enjoying about this game. The versatility, and that's the thing too. So like even though he's a Titan, who else is a Titan? This guy's a Titan, right? But they are completely different. And look how many warlocks we have in this game. So we got this warlock here who's a range specialist. And you got this warlock right here who has a badass hand cannon, linear fusion rifle, technically a range specialist, but she heals just like he does. But they feel so different. Ikora, way different, right? So the versatility is there. Who are our hunters? We got, at least from the characters I got, you got good old reliable Wolf, right? And then you have Ning Fei, and then I think the other Void one is some chick with a hoodie on. I forget her name. Tomorrow we also do have the choice exotic in the events. I think it's the events. Where's that? The 14-day sign-in, right? So this is what everybody gets a hold of. And out of this, I'm really looking at a dilemma, because here's the problem. If I'm maining Yolder, it makes sense to get the Huckleberry, right? It's going to bring my light level up. That's going to make her very good for the raid, for at least dealing with void, you know what I'm saying, combatants. So there's that. And let's actually take a look to see what these three do, because this is a pretty important day tomorrow, where you're gonna choose what you get from here, and it could pretty much change everything about what you're gonna focus on for the next week. And the reason why I say that is because you get to day 14. Okay, look at all this. Every single day you get a pull, right? Pretty sick. Day 14, you get to choose again, so you can get a different one, or you can double down on the one that you choose, right? And this is a choice engram, so this is a big deal for those of you that are new to the game. Take part in this. Make sure you definitely do this. The question is, well, which one is the best? It really just depends on who you're maining, because you can use Ning Fei with that. But yeah, like, technically I can go with any of these. Even though Atala is not one of my mains, I love using her in PvP, and I really want to try this hand cannon right here. Like, I feel like I kind of just want to get it, even though, like, I don't need to have Huckleberry. I really don't. Huckleberry is cool. Like, it shows you that you get increased rate of fire, but you also get more recoil while you're holding down the trigger. And imagine that you never have to reload, so this thing is just going crazy with DPS. I'll probably have to get fucking Huckleberry, because that might really help out with the damn raid boss and shit. That's a dilemma. That's a dilemma. But let's see what the sniper's looking like. So here's the sniper for you 10 specialists. Let's see. Tap reload to change this weapon's damage type. Oh, this is the best motherfucking sniper in the game right here. That's... If you're using tan, you better get this sniper rifle tomorrow, because what a beast. To be able to switch between the 3 burns, oh my god, that is just... That's game, set, match. That's absolutely perfect. What more could you want if you're a tan main? Yeah, I understand. This right actually take the bait as the most important out of the 3 for the raid, for that kind of shit, for, you know, getting through heroics and stuff, just dealing with bosses, but also dealing with the ads with shields. This thing will handle business. Breaking the shield with the matching element, reloads the weapon, grants bonus damage to the current magazine, increases the damage of the next 5 rounds. So this thing is built to just fuck up every boss. I might have to get that one. Now what a dilemma. And the PvP, this may not be a priority, but I do want this one right here. 3-round burst. It says banned weapon. It's sick. Kills with this weapon heal the wielder. Of course. Precision kills refill the magazine. So I don't think I've ever seen a hand cannon with this much rate of fire since fucking Last Word, technically. So this just sounds so intriguing. This isn't a hand cannon that's in Destiny 2, is it? Looks like a brand new one. Oh, what a dilemma, dude. Having to choose between the three. That's some crazy shit right there. Well, who am I gonna go with? Well, just gonna have to see tomorrow's video to find out. Anyways, yo, this has been a rant. That's gonna do it for me. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's see what we get.